What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Alchemy Pay today, ACH. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it here. Here we are at about 1.84 cents right now. Yes, my camera is low quality today, you guys. That's just how it's going to be probably for the next week because I can't hook up my actual camera, so whatever. Here we are, dropping yesterday about 12%. A little bit down today. It looks like you broke through the floor, right? Here was your floor, broke through it. I bet that you had some decent volume even on Coinbase. No, you didn't. It's about average. It's not too crazy, but let's just see what is that ACH. That would be. Oh, come on, come on. ACH. Yeah, it's decent volume. That actually is decent volume. Okay, so anyways, breaking through that there. I'm assuming that you're very near your low. You're just not at it yet, but you have a little bit lower to go. If we look at this low here to this high here, based off the extensions that we see, you're at the 1272. It's very common when working your way down to find support here. A little bit of a move up and then continue your way down. I'm not anticipating that the markets really recover too much from here. So if it were to happen, it'd have to happen over the next couple days. Maybe you get some kind of 10%, 11% pump. Don't get too excited. Just saying, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you get back up to about 3 cents, or no, I'm sorry, 2 cents, don't get too excited. 2 cents would likely provide resistance, whether it's 2, 2.1, 2.2, whatever, somewhere in that area would find resistance and you would persist lower. If you close above 2.2 cents, I might change my mind, but that's what it would take, and I don't see that happening because I don't think that Bitcoin's going to recover. I mean, it will, but just not yet. I think this drop is going to be swift. I think it'll happen before the 10th. It is the 7th right now, so over the next 3 days. It might be today, you guys. It very well could be today. Sundays and Mondays are big days, both in pump terms and in dump terms. So it's very, very possible that this move could see completion today. We dropped down to 72, 70K, 73, 74K, somewhere in that area. That's our low zone. And if Alchemy Pay finds its low in that time, I would expect that that's the low, whatever low it is. 1.75 cents, 1.6 cents, something like that inevitably is what I would anticipate, whether you're counting on a bounce here or just breaking straight below. And I will even say, when it comes to breaking below here, like this at this pace, it's not common to just break straight through and go to your golden ratio. So what I would count on maybe is going just below the 1-for-1-4. That is pretty damn common in these kind of scenarios. Doesn't mean that it has to happen, but probably not. I guess what you'd count on then would be the golden ratio itself. Yeah, not common, but it does happen. And sometimes whenever you wick really fast down there, you find immaculate support and continue back up to this area here. Some kind of V-shaped recovery might be what you're due for. Whatever happens, whatever the case may be. I mean, you could go lower even. I would think that you do find support around 1.6 cents is what I would have to guess. And I don't think that you go below 1.42 cents. Okay, I don't think you go below this low. I do think you go below these lows. Does that make sense? Something around 1.63, 1.6 cents, something like that. You're at 1.845 cents now. So a little bit lower. Let's see, looking at the 4-hour time frame, yes, a little bit bearish, coming down. 1-hour time frame, yeah, you've got some bullish divergence, but not really, man. You got oversold, rejected the oversold zone. That's really strong to the downside. It wouldn't surprise me. I know I said by the 10th, but it wouldn't surprise me if today, the 7th of April, was the day that we found this low. Across the board, guys. It could be today because I think that CPI data, if we think about it here, this is normally the time where I would make my screen big, but I can't because it's so, I mean, maybe I can, but man, it's so low quality. It is terrible. It is very low quality. CPI data comes out on the 10th, and I think it's going to be positively received for the markets, which if CPI data is positively received, what that means is that the Fed at the FOMC meeting in May is going to drop their interest rates. If they drop their interest rates, Trump might, refinance the debt for the United States, and that's a bullishly perceived event as well. Quantitative easing might happen. The Fed might start increasing their holdings, and what's the word I'm looking for? Their balance sheet. Start to load up on their balance sheet. All kinds of bullish things that happen. Generally whenever the Fed is selling, the markets dump. Whenever the Fed is buying, the markets pump. So we'll see if that happens. But that could all be implied with positive CPI reports, which do come out on the 10th. Now, people will be aware, or should I say front running what these expectations, what this outcome will be before it happens. If the CPI data comes out on the 10th, and it does, I would anticipate that maybe a few days before, maybe if not the day before or early morning before the information is announced, we would see some positive movements going into it. We would also continue to move up afterwards, but just because, you know, if the 10th comes and we see a little bit of a sell-off, don't get too surprised or too concerned with that, because we likely will pump going into that day anyways. So all that to say, and even if we don't pump into that day, if we dump into that day would likely then provide a pump. All that to say, though, we're very near that day now. It's the 7th of April. We have about 3 days left, if that, if not maybe just a little bit more. A little bit lower to go, 1.63 cents, and then in time, Alchemy Pay is going to do very, very well. $164 million now. 100x would put you at $16.4 billion, and that's a very possible outcome for this thing. Doesn't mean that it has to see a 100x, but it can. It's got that capability. And we had to take Alchemy Pay out of the race for 20 cents because with Swiftcoin and XCN, I shouldn't say take it out, but we had to exclude it because it already has a head start on it being at 1.8 cents here. I would assume that when this next move comes out, it's going to be well above 20 cents, probably even somewhere around 20 to 30 cents, and potentially even up as high as 42 cents. I think that this next move, and I know that sounds crazy, but man, when this thing moves, when it wants to move, it can move very, very fast. But this was at a lower market cap. Yeah, I get it. But guess what? This could be after a long, like over a year long worth of consolidation. Accumulation at that. And whenever you let loose that goose, it might fly high. So all I'm guessing is you probably find some resistance somewhere around 12.4 to 17.8 cents. At a minimum, we're looking at a 6, almost a 7x, maybe as much as like a 9x, 9.6x. If not as much as something that's over a 20x by the end of this move. When's the end of this move? Probably sometime in May or June. I'm thinking June, probably. And then where are you going to be by the end of the cycle? Because I mentioned 100x or even more. Very, very possible targets. If you were to see some new all-time highs by the end of the cycle, the area that I'd expect is at about $1.29. Maybe October, November, December, somewhere in Q4. That's a 69x at a minimum. Potentially a 160x, 160x, 161x at about $3 there, or even $4.40 could provide like a 233, 234x. Could we go higher? We could. Will we? I doubt it, but it's possible. Genuinely, it is possible to see prices around $10, but I doubt it. I would think more so your target area by the end of the cycle for Alchemy Pay will be about $4.40 to $1.30, and that's all I got for you guys. Okay, so hit the like button, subscribe. I've been eating a lot of food, so I'm having a hard time talking because I got that indigestion thing coming up, right? You know what I'm talking about. If you hear it in the video, if you hear me taking pauses that are at abnormal places, or sounds like I'm taking a moment like that, that's exactly what it is. I ate so much food today, you guys. That's what it is, though. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.